Handuru, Tinemazi Marimazi Banduru, my nini, Varize Kumboko Bamnini, yo, catch me live on Shoko Festival. Peace in the hood. Ooh. Hey, what's up everyone? It's your boy T Gonz Mbel, representing Zim Hip Hop, representing Zimbabwean music industry, representing hip hop here ghetto. So the time you've been waiting for has come. Shoko Festival season has come. On the 26th of September, I myself, Mbel, I'm gonna be performing live, courtesy of Shoko Festival, Phoenix edition, 26th September, launching my brand new album, Best Metal Volume 2. You're gonna love this one. Phoenix edition, baby. T Gonz Mbel, pa Shoko Festival, 26th September. Garawandi Temba. I love you so much, guys. Make sure kuti maziwa kuti Shoko Festival is the place to be and the place to be. Jakafana na mgusiana kwajo. Much love. That's all I need. All I need. That's all I need. Hey, that's all.
Hi, I'm Munya. I'm a stand-up comedian coming at you from the Shoko Festival 2020. Catch me in the Bang Bang Comedy Show on Friday, the 25th of September on the Shoko Festival Facebook page. Hashtag Phoenix Edition. Until then, stay safe and stay sane. Watch in your homes and be ready to laugh.
Tell a man that I speak truth. Tell a man that I speak metaphorical juice. I spit coke on mics until you can taste the feeling. Hey, my name is Kula Rice, and I will be participating in this year's Shoko Festival 2020 Phoenix edition, Battle of the Cities Poetry Slam. Be sure to tune in live to the Shoko Festival Facebook page on the 21st of September.
Yo, it's Holy 10, the leader of the youth, the speaker of the truth. Wait, where the hell is my swag? Oh, I keep that on the roof. I'm going to be performing live at Shoko Festival, Phoenix edition, Peace in the Hood. See me live on Facebook, catch my performance right there. Peace in the Hood. Holy 10, I'm out.
Pamba pano shuga yakapera apana chandibvunza kwandaswera ndichangoti wangu pane njuga dzandapeta izvo pana kule vandasecha kuti vaende ndaisamboda ndaiva mudoko kana chandaiziva iwe uchiziva wafadza mutengi uyakono your man is Papti and you know Mr. Unrated, and I'm sharing good news with you in Zimbabwe African Award kuti muna September musi wa 21 kusvikira 27 inenge iri Shoko Festival powered by Shoko, so make sure say you enjoy yourselves. You understand? Shoko to the world, make them know.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Shoko Festival 2020 Poetry Slam, Battle of the Cities. My name is Madzitati Guru. I am the urban ancient poet, and this Poetry Slam is being brought to you in partnership with Page Poetry Alive and Nimbe Trust. I said I'm from the urban ancient poet. Wait, that's my name, right? I am the urban ancient poet because I come from the ancient city of Masvingo. But tonight, this battle of cities is between Bulawayo and Harare. So, we have 4 poets from each city who shall be reciting their poetry tonight, and you as the audience shall be the judges, but this will only happen at the end of this poetry slam. And from Harare, we have the unspoken, Shaudo, Kuda Rice, and Banshi. From Bulawayo, we have Tando, Sox the Poet, Dela, and Tinashe Tafire Nyika. So we'll share the link to the voting platform at the end of this show. As soon as this show ends, we shall be voting, and voting ends tonight at midnight, which technically is tomorrow morning, but we'll say tonight. So before we move into the first round, we shall have an international sacrificial poet named Vanessa coming all the way from Zambia.
The concept of good governance in the African context is a dream. No, it's a nightmare. It's horror night on Elm Street and the president plays Freddy. You see, the governance reins in Africa have glue. Once you hold on to power, you cannot let go unless through a coup d'etat, which is cool until it's not cool. Until we all start to feel like fools and look at each other and ask who voted for who. Tell them that Africa has not forgotten. Zambia has not forgotten. 41 fire trucks later, a burnt market and a dead student. You should tell them that they too shall fall. They shall all fall as many already have fallen. So yes, they shall fall in no particular order. They shall fall from heroes to zeros. With their great armies of fury, they shall fall in no particular order. They are the directors of dictatorship. Those dictators and death agents, they shall all fall in no particular order. They shall fall from the east to the west, in the north and even in the south they shall fall. They shall fall in the Muslim communities and the Arab world. They shall fall in the English world, and they shall fall even in the Bantu world. No dictator shall dictate forever. Everything that flies must land sometimes. You know, they shall all fall in no particular order, one by one, in no particular order. And you must suffer not a witch to leave. Wulala abatagati, you must strike the bar while it's still hot. Mubarak could no longer put brakes at the engine of change, and Bagbo could not gamble governance. Bingu burst like a balloon, and the list is endless. Yaya Jammeh, Blair Compaore, Raymond Pereira, Idi Amin Dada, Francois Bozize, and many more fell. Obiang Basago, Robert Mugabe, Bingu Wamtarika, Mabuto Sese Seko, Francis Nguema, Hosni Mubarak, Omar al-Bashir, Zine el-Abidine Ben Ali, all fell in no particular order. They shall all fall because nothing lasts forever. No evil shall prevail forever. No dictator shall live forever. No government shall kill people forever. They shall all fall one by one in no particular order. They shall all fall one by one in no particular order. One by one in no particular order. One by one. Thank you.
So thank you, Sacrificial Poet. Now we are moving into the first round. So our first poet for our first round is Tando, coming all the way from Bulawayo. Give it up for Tando through reactions, likes, and comments.
It's not easy walking the streets in the shoes. It's not easy living and breathing at the same time. It makes no sense to think that this is all I'll ever be, that this moment is the last of me, the last of my breath, that the air will never brush my skin the same way it just did, that in the blink of an eye, my whole being is introduced to a whole new phase, possibly a decade, through the split of a second. It's difficult to understand how things just happen like that, how leaves fall from a tree like that, how the same tree can be a fruit like that. See how there's something unfathomable about the coexistence of things in life. I mean, it's dark, then there's light. The sun shines bright like that, and the next it turns cold and barely noticeable like that, just shifts or instant like that. I missed all this. I'm meant to write and rewrite my stories. I'm meant to strike a balance between who I really am and who you think I am, and then make peace with the fact that this is all I'll ever amount to. Big or small, good or bad, purposeful or not. I'll have to make peace with the fact that this right here is what I amount to. Walking the streets in the shoes. It's not easy. This is combat, juggling between life and life, surviving and leaving, standing out and fitting in, conforming and believing, growing up conservative and not so conservative societies, having to constantly close my eyes so I don't see things. I mean, shut down the windows to my brain so my spirit remains pure. Because of this, the world feels like a little dark place. It gets really cold and lonely down here. It's devastating. How I may or may not be on the right path, how I may be serving me and not my makeup, because see, there's often an illusion birthed from this dark, cold fulfillment, these little satisfactory deeds that make our little hearts beat a little faster, the little things that make us feel like gods, like we got this and we can do it on our own. These things happen just like that on the streets. It's very easy to get lost in the streets, to say yes when lights go out, to hide in plain sight and do God knows what. It's very easy to give in and do the easier thing or the most logical thing and be less trusting in things you can't physically see and connect with. It's very easy to shut down completely and walk the streets blindly. See the thing about life being a paradox, how life can equal death like that, how we can choke from the same air that gives us life like that, how we can be here and not really present, see? But well, it is what it is.
So that was Tando coming all the way from Skies. So if you like Tando, vote for Team Skies at the end of the show. Our second poet is representing Team Harare, and that's Shoko.
Talk is cheap, but I can't afford to sell lies. To be or not to be, that is the question. I'll have to deal with the consequences. But for now, I'll shake the spear with the pen. House of Stone had Gabriel, but he was no angel. Brought Marufu to an already disgraced nation, but Iowachas Ngadegutama. My dark-skinned brother who broke bread with the white mask masters, eating steak and cheese like bourgeoisie while I was sweating pointlessly. Salivating for mere crumbs, fasting, eating nothing but mastered seeds. In the land of milk and honey, I was praying for manna. Or maybe, man. You see, I'm home and home is free of Pharaoh's hand. I was promised land. A sense of paradise, but society's a paradox. I wonder if folks in government knew what govern meant. They said peace, equality, and prosperity. But I don't even have property. They're more crazy they talk about democracy. So no liberation without a struggle. But I don't even have independence. I am in dependence. Respect and honor to the forefathers, though. The problem isn't them, the prequel. The problem is we, the people that seek all the enslaving delusions of Mr. Farrah's skin built on interest in paradigms that feed him in the sequel of our story. See, you were freed from a ball and chains, and now you ball in chains. Never met Christ, but you rock a Jesus piece. Finding comfort in nice, expensive designer clothes, but you're uncomfortable in your own skin. Got a master's degree, but you've mastered life to no degree. Your entire ideology is Western. It's Western, the black Americans that call themselves African American. I guess you must be American African. Since you were born, you've never known, never worn, no, never put on any ton. You monkey mouth black appropriate a history that's not yours. Bad measures the rule of land, disregarding the anointing that sits you on thrones, whilst the pirate privately expatriates minerals. In your unnecessary toil, they spoil your soil for oil. You're whitewashed baboons walking around beating your chest like you're King Kong. But guess what? Kong is not from Africa. See, I've got the heart of a lion. You can throw me in the jungle, but because I was born in the jungle, even there, I'll be king. But please, if you're to associate my identity to the color of my skin, please, call me Rafiki. Brown skin, thick lips, big nose, kinky hair, and a whole lot of wisdom.
Thank you, Shoko. So if you like Shado's poetry, you can vote for Team Harare because Shoko was representing Team Harare. And our third poet for tonight is Della from Bulawayo. Give it up for Dela.
Knowledge means power. Knowledge means growth. Knowledge may not mean dope, but it certainly means woke. A slip out of comatose. See, knowledge means development in psyche and intellect, and timely spasms of revelation in realms untraveled and sights unseen. It's like a binge of replenishing water drawn from King Solomon's well that smooths and oozes dry cracks. But what I was also soon to realize is knowledge may also mean biased. Because if everything that I know is molded by perception, perpetuated by the things that I hear, then what about the blind spots, the lost refractions, and the blank spaces? Don't those just leave it one-sided? What about the different questions never asked, the different theories never heard? How many things have we accepted as facts simply because they've been echoed for millenniums without any real explanations? I'm thinking, why do we call ourselves black when we're clearly different shades of brown? Does this knowledge that we carry force us to accept that the description of our skin is a depiction of everything negative, ill-omened, and bad? If that's true, then I don't blame you. Yes, you who would buy a tank of Deprazone to try scrub the blackout. You who was bludgy and black and blue when you had thoughts of independence and enlightenment till you had a mental blackout. Look at us now. We're experiencing the physical manifestation of darkness. These controlling notions, they've corroded our minds and souls like corrosive lotions. Knowledge is power. It is the power to build or destroy you. Be careful what you feed your mind with.
Thank you, Dela. Now our next poet represents Team Harare and is the unspoken. Give it up for the unspoken.
My people are souls of the soul turned concrete by these hard times. Black-skinned accents bleach formed by social media beauty products. Men of the land trying to look good with suit and tie Snapchat filters. Using hands made for Nodo to play chess on this black society board game. No wonder why we're always losing to life. Hanzi, nzoairemerwe nenyanga dzayo. But does that still apply when these elephants rely on imported horns? Weaves, we are poisoned to think that chess taught us the keys to survival and Nodo only taught us greed when all our forefathers tried to do was leave us the keys to financial saving. Joshua, kugocha kunoda kwa mai, kwe mwana kunodzima moto. But how can this microwave generation understand tsumo dzana baba vedu? Totatenda lack of zesa. At least now these kids know ka life kapa moto. Teens gwe vakachemera ka life kanopisa food. How unfortunate. How we took people who came on a ship for us to understand the value in our own land. How we took Hollywood and Black Panther for us to start loving our culture. So what will it take for us to stop naming our kids foreign names as if our language has run out of words? For us to start appreciating our own language. For schools to stop awarding best English speaker and start awarding best vernacular speaker. I'm tired. I'm tired of this artificial life. See, black is the color of royalty. I wear it with pride like the crown on my head. I am a king like the kings before me. So please, stop treating my people like as if farming is the only thing that we can do. We are black, melanin, filled with potential, yet untapped and yet to be felt. So yes, I am black, but I love it.
Thank you, the unspoken. Now we move to Team Bulawayo. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Socks, the poet.
Hi, I'm God. Adam, before we begin, I need you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Breathe in and out, and in and out. Now listen to the sound of my voice and let it linger. I will count to 7, then snap my finger. You will wake up and 3 magic words I will whisper, and you will tell me what reaction those words will trigger. Now let us begin. 1. Picture yourself in a garden, it's a marvel, flowers can't help but swivel, bees are busy buzzing, birds singing and crickets chirping, it's Eden. You just put the lion to sleep in its den, your name is Adam and you have everything. 2, you just talked to God, me, over a cup of tea, he promised you a good woman, you will probably call a sweet tea, born of your bones, you and hair will be close, you will be one, but of course she will look better than you. Now you can't help but imagine, oh, how you wish you had a clue. 3, imagine you are the seeker and this is your legend. Since God promised, you have been diligently seeking. 7 years of constant soul searching and now you feel it in your bones that something is definitely missing. 4, your heart is dancing, your lips are singing. You dream of her even when you're not sleeping. You're daydreaming, seeing things and calling them visions. She is your vision of grace and ecstasy, perfection living in the walls of your imagination. 5, now pay attention and listen. Listen to the sound of her voice as it fills you with flames of desire. Picture her hips swaying, leaving you with no choice but to burn from this fire. Burning with passion like Shadrach. She is no ordinary furnace, she's a phoenix. And in all fairness, she warms your heart and burns all those who are not earnest. To be honest, 6, she is perfect. Like Desiderata, she is all you want and need. The reason your heart pumps as you breathe, the better half you desperately need. A constellation of the darkest scars, the remedy to your darkest scars, and the reason you sing better than Bruno Mars. She is perfect. 7, now to complete the trick, tell her what she means to you, how she is the only fountain apple to quench your desire, the elixir of life that puts your pants on fire, the embodiment of the Messiah in goodness and in grace. Once upon a time you were all alone in a lonely garden, but now I present to you Eve. Now picture yourself in the same garden, it's a marvel, flowers can't help but swivel, bees are busy buzzing, birds singing and crickets chirping, it's Eden. You just put the lioness to sleep in your den. She is Eve and your name is Adam, and she is the only woman you will forever love. Now you truly have everything. Adam, wake up and listen. Love is everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Sox, the poet. And now, representing Team Harare, Banshi, ladies and gentlemen.
Dear sons, guard your wallets the same way God would guard your spirits, and best believe that no slave queen fashioned against you shall prosper. I said guard your wallets the same way God would guard your spirits, and best believe that no slave queen fashioned against you shall prosper. I know that is deserving of an amen. So amen. A man walks like a king, although he has cracked his servant's spine whilst bearing the weight of a masculine cross. He does not allow patriarchy to mask his divinity. He wears his scars like an expensive tailored suit. And because man is a man of class, he has graduated from boyhood, whilst a boy from the hood slithers like a snake right into the garden of Eve's daughter, because he has no spine at all and helps himself to her forbidden fruit. He hangs from the strands of thread which piece his ripped jeans together. Ripped jeans, torn by the claws of a hereditary sexism. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Adam's sons, stop trying to find yourselves in between the legs of lost souls. The inside of a woman's body is not your place of praise. Raise your standards higher than our current inflation too. You are not some kind of sick modern age Leonardo da Vinci who could just paint on the canvas of our skins with his fists whenever they start to itch. Well, not exactly, but that's besides the point. 3. B, if your girlfriend treats you like an eco-cash merchant, sergeant, it is time to march out of that relationship fast. A good woman is a seed into your finances, whilst a slain queen will bleed all over those finances. No shade, just enlightened truth. 4, why are you running though? Don't you ever get tired? Tired of the hypocrisy? Tired of the guilt tripping over your ego when both of your laces is tied. We are tired of raising fatherless daughters who spend their entire lives trying to find themselves in motherless sons, son. It is not your time to hide. 5, your life is worth more than their expectations, more than the norms, more than the slave queen's king you were born to rule. And that there is deserving of an amen. So amen, Banshee.
That was Banshee, ladies and gentlemen. Our next poet, representing Team Bulawayo, Tinashe Tafirenyika.
There is no such thing as love. Only the tearing of the womb at birth, the soul-rending emptiness of death, and the mundane chore of life. Fear and uncertainty shrouding the afterlife, there is no such thing as love. There is no such thing as love because love potions are just aphrodisiacs. Gentlemen, Viagra is how many minutes of happiness? Affections dissipate as quickly as they appear, and our appetites desecrate the apple that we hold so dear. There is no such thing as love. There is no such thing as love because love is God and God is divine. We blaspheme when we claim to love anything to the death because love is God and God is life. But we desire to be gods, to conquer life. So we build broken altars and catch fire, all in the name of love when there is no such thing as love. There is no such thing as love. Just bouquets, bow ties, and wedding photographers. Ribbed condoms and cocoa butter. Maternal instincts to perpetuate the species and patriotism, because being an island is lonely. There is no such thing as love.
That was Tinashe Tafirenyika, ladies and gentlemen. And our last poet for the first round is coming from Harare, and that is Kuda Rice.
Add 2 and 2, 1 and 2s. Add 2 and 2, 1 and 2s. I hope you receive this as a deja vu, just so the impact can be twice as hard. I traveled back in time, performed this poem once and again now, just so in the future you can say I am too creative. I recite this for those that dream of holding a pistol, just to prove to them that art can be a piece of tool used to help you find your peace too. Get it from me. I have walked, planted my 2 feet on this earth for too long, tsoka dzangu dzizere neminzwa. Vakuru vakati, sango rinopa waneta, asi rangu ziya ndanzwa nekupukuta. Ndizere nenyota, tese tine nyota. But look at how easily we quench ourselves with drops of ore that is artificial. My inner thirst is in search of a waterfall. I'm tired of these diluted fountains. Add 2 and 2, 1 and 2s. Add 2 and 2, 1 and 2s. I recite this for those that can't add 2 and 2. It's hard for you to be good at math when you're part of a generation that is missing father figures. So you figure how to father yourself. 2 palms, 2 knees, placing them on the floor, prayers to the one that is 3, hoping that you manage to mold your fate to place you in a comfortable infinity. Add 2 and 2, 1 and 2s. Add 2 and 2, 1 and 2s. We were told to make our days count, so we became accountants. Day by day, we are accountable to our actions, which will reflect on the sheet of life. Now, this is a different kind of balance. Add 2 and 2, 1 and 2s. We hope that we manage to make our ends meet before we meet our ends. Until then, we add 2 and 2, 1 and 2.
Thank you, Kuda Rice. And that brings us to the end of our first round. So remember, voting opens as soon as this show ends and closes at midnight tonight. like I said, it might be tomorrow morning, but that's arguable. So, before we move on to the second round, we shall take a break.
Yo, what's up Zimbabwe? What's up world? It's really say it's your boy Pro Beats, aka Zigondora. I'll be performing at this year's Shoko Festival from the 21st to the 27th of September. Shoko Festival Phoenix Edition, live on Facebook.
Yeah, man, it's the Fire King, aka Dr. D, aka Mr. Priscus, aka Charging. I'm gonna be hosting Shoko Phoenix Edition this September 2020. Yeah, man, from the 21st to the 27th, live on the Shoko Facebook page. Catch me live. Tell a friend, tell the next friend, ex-girlfriend, boyfriend, Baba Mai Sekuru, that we're gonna be live on Shoko Facebook page, Phoenix Edition. Shoko!
Kuya 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 kwa maiswera muchipara. Kuya 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 kwa maipula muchis. Say kuya 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 again. Kuya.
Hey guys, it's your girl Anita Jackson and I've got good news for you. So, from the 21st to the 27th of September, I am going to be performing live on the Shoko Festival Facebook page 2020 Phoenix Edition and I can't wait. Love you guys. Stay tuned.
Master, you teach me, show, now you take me home, I become the Murora.
Mazizi anohuta imbwa dzinokura mapere anoseka chinono ndechengwe bere rakadya chistepa namwene nharo vamwe muchimbuzi vanoshandisa iwe. My name is Madzitati Guru. I'm the Ebenation Poet and ndichange ndichiperforma kuShoko Festival iri kuitwa musi wa 21 September kusvika musi wa 27 September. Muchange muchiona pa Facebook page yeShoko Festival. Iribo saka tobatana kawani.
Hey guys, 2020 has been unexpected. I know, but you can always count on Shoko Festival to come through. And this year's edition is the Phoenix edition. We're coming through to lift your spirits up. Catch us between the 21st and the 27th of September with a Big Bang Comedy Club brought to you by Shoko Festival. Catch us on Shoko Festival Facebook page. It's me, Maggie Magraza.
Tingai patik, my chain, panic, Indo hit DJ, padik, Daimbo, Kaira my gangster, now that gangster. Yo, what's up? It's your boy R Pews, aka 1 Hour Faro. I'm going to be performing live on Peace in the Hood, Shoko Festival, Phoenix Edition. Check me out. Shoko Festival, let's do it. Faro!
Take my chain, panic, Indo hit DJ, padik, Daimbo, Kaira my gangster, now that gangster. I made mistakes, but then I'm big. Manzwani ku wana tuka zangu pare.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, once again. My name is Madzitati Guru, like I said before. And we are at the Shoko Festival Poetry Slam Battle of the Cities. So before we move into our second round, we shall have an international sacrificial poet once again, Vanessa, coming all the way from Zambia.
I am African, but I am not a monkey, a gorilla, or a chimpanzee. Yes, we are custodians of the best wildlife. We house the most unique creatures to ever exist in this life, such as the lion whose tribe is Judah, the African elephant, the cheetah, the zebra. Have you seen an okapi or looked at the beauty of a mantled gorilla? We do not bite. We are depictions of congeniality. You should go back to learn your A's and B's and not the stories that they tell you about us, because we are all about family trees with roots as strong as the mukula, we only get stronger and better. Tulea tule kula. We're all about cultural diversity. We believe in unity. The spirit is Ubuntu. Fueba ishibo tuntu. We hail from the land of a sun. We are the natural bred warriors. We are children of the savannas, the deserts, the plateaus, the mountains, and the valleys, the keepers of our grandparents' stories. If Wakanda is something new to you, we have lived our entire lives with the spirit of a Black Panther. This blood, this is the blood of Shaka. This soil, this is a soil that birthed greats like Utata Madiba, and you cannot run away from the great musicianship or unique artistry of legends Lucky Dube, Oliver Mtukuzi, or Paul Ngozi. We are Africans. We house the most minerals. We have the diamonds, the aluminium, the platinum, the silver, and the gold, all the way from the copper belt up to the city of gold. Why do you think they scrambled for Africa? We are a world that exists within a world. We do not believe in banting. We believe in wanting to eat what we want to eat, and you are not a welcomed guest in our house if we do not ask you to eat. We love our Shisanyama, our Kapenta with Sadza, to Tenembalala down south, as we feast on a goosey soup and jollof rice in the west and posho in the east, and go all the way up north to taste koshari in Egypt. We are professionals of multicultural colored cuisines, as colorful as our clothes, as we like to wrap ourselves in our kente, ankara, and colorful chitenges, not forgetting to wrap ourselves in our beautiful head ties. After all, we are the birthplace of civilization. We are not the fossils of a sunken city. You called us a dark continent. We are not a dark continent, and we are not made of darkness. We do not climax on a dark night. We are Batman, and we are not poor. Maybe we jumped in bed with you too early, which led to the realization of your global poverty prevention projects, the birth of your philanthropies, leaving us with nothing but aid. Or is it AIDS? You see, who needs chains for the 21st century slave? Benevolent slavery is a mind game which makes you think that emancipation is an ocean of imagination that you can walk in but never get wet. I can still hear them bidding. They are still bidding. Ask them to stop bidding, because Africa is not for sale. Thank you.
So thank you to our sacrificial poet. Now we move into the second round of this Battle of the Cities. And our first poet for this Battle of the Cities Poetry Slam Shoko Festival 2020 second round shall be Kuda Rice. Give it up for Kuda Rice.
Words. Intellectual fluency. I mastered the master's tongue, spit painting metaphors, intellectual waterfalls. These are the warfares of a soldier with a pen. I am a student to God's iris. My syllabus is the ocean. He is teaching my spirit how to see. I'm sea surfing through time, existence distinctive, skin descriptive of the primitive. I sometimes photosynthesize, because to connect to the Father, you should absorb the sun. Sunless skies, dark times, had my soul scraping the moon in search of zero gravity, because down here, humanity has already fallen. Attempts to piece pieces of peace through time, but hard times of no peace make us disobedient to God's timepiece. So our spirit ticks whenever he talks. Tick, tock. How many times in church have you raised your clock hands but you are way past 8? How many times in church have you raised your clock hands but you are way past faith? Faith has sometimes motivated I. Daily routine of paper clipping these knees to the A4 of A floor, prayers for daily bread, but seemingly sometimes we only get crumbs. Kutambudzika. Shonzi, ukufamba naye sei Jesu kana nhamo yokurapa spetsoka kunge wakapfeka mapatapata. Toti tunorarama pamweya,
nyama angori mapfeko, mapudzi paanowira kusina hari, toshaya zororo kana tichirarama tisina mari. So nightmares of empty pockets have us chasing profits, coin tossing into a wishing well, trying to avoid hell, but the dollar won't save I. Money trees only bear fruits of greed, smoking Benjamins like weed only gets us far from the Most High. Human conclusion, time is money. Human illusion, the existence of money is timeless. But expenses attained at the expense of your soul will one day turn into dust when we have time less.
Thank you, Kuda Rice, once again. If you like Kuda Rice, vote for Team Harare at the end of this poetry slam. And moving on, the second poet shall be Tinashe Tafire Nyika representing Skies. Give it up for Tinashe. My likes, my reaction, my comments. Irbo.
I am your average, friendly neighborhood sandman. I could spin you a dream. See, this stage is my throne, and I am the queen of make-believe. My words paint pictures clearer than any Monet. What would you like to see? I'll build you Rome in a day, change the fate of Pompeii, send Romeo and Juliet to therapy because teen suicide isn't love, Shakespeare. It's just depressing and gory. See, I keep it child-friendly. I'm like an Android app, super user-friendly. I'm not Microsoft and squishy. I'm more of a Symbian, a 3310. You cannot break me. I dare you to try and exhaust me. See, my batteries could light up this whole city. I think Soda should start a contract with me. Because my poetry could foster world peace, turn Trump into a feminist, make philanthropists out of all our MPs. I am like an EMT, resuscitating your faith in humanity with bars tighter than Kami. You should be wearing stripes and khakis, because I'ma let you in, mate. And the nib of my pen is the universe's secrets. The sound of my voice could hypnotize the sun, make it turn on my axis. I could tame sirens. Call me a banshee because I screech into your silence and you have no choice except to hear me. You don't even need to open your eyes to see me because I am the woman of your dreams. So don't resist, receive me, and I will take you places you never thought you could be.
Thank you, Tinashe Tafire Nyika. And our next poet, hailing from Harare, Banshee, ladies and gentlemen.
Is a starving little girl with a gaping mouth who is hungry for some food for thought, but thoughts of food will not nourish her tongue, and she will have anything but anything that's on this exotic menu because she knows in preparation they used a recipe for disaster. These slave master continents, I mean master chefs in this master class, they will teach her how to pronounce quarantine the same way they taught her how to announce death before time heals. COVID-19 will take a 19-year-old Mandaza and a 30-year-old Makamba by force, but they will not call it colonization. They will call it cleansing a nation to produce silent nights, not so holy nights in this masterclass. They will not tell you it's going to be okay, KK. Instead, they will give you white masks to cover your unholy lips, but the Spirit will give you tips on how to pray with the same dirty hands you're supposed to sanitize. They might stick cotton swabs up Africa's nose and in her mouth, but her black history will not cause her not to breathe. It will not kill her. They will not kill her. They might lock her down like that man on the cross, but she will break those chains and claim her crown like that man on the cross in your language. Corona means a viral disease in my language. Corona means a crown and my king reigns over everything, including disease. So for these plus 21 days, we will fast. We will practice spiritual discipline like Daniel. So when lions roar, we will sing our praises louder. Social distancing will mean divine tethering. That means connecting to a higher power, Elohim. So although Africa is a starving little girl with a gaping mouth. The strength of her countenance will help keep her lips together when they try to feed her poison, her akwati. The strength of this continent will help keep its people together when they try to kill us with poison, hatikwati. Because takashimbirwa, ne food for thought. Banshee.
Thank you, Banshee. Representing Team Bulawayo, Socks the Poet.
Before the beginning of the end was a time where war was the best diplomacy. Thwart your enemies before they can crush you. 33 strategies of war. Everyone is your enemy until proven otherwise. Otherwise, men lend the strategic value of the night. Knighted warriors into them to fight, invisible like spirits under the clock of the night. When the clock strikes 12, Cinderella, take off your shoe and be the lady of the night. Be whatever they want you to be. Stroke their different sized egos if need be. And honey, when they are weak, sting like a bee and unveil their secrets with the dance of the seven veils. And just before they come to their senses, take their breath away one last time, Anna. Hurry home to Moscow before you two become a martyr. Tomorrow we march and end this Cold War. Tomorrow knowledge suddenly became power, so relentlessly we pursued it. Relations became sour, battle of sexes. We men claimed it was right to be on top. Confusion on confusion. We built the Tower of Babel, gave all fault to our power greed. That's why Cain killed Abel. Bit by bit we fell into darkness. As the stars fell we uploaded, wished upon them we were deluded. Little by little men fell, little debtors we created, on their feet we fell. Aphrodites to satisfy our twisted desires, cloned whatever we could, scientific satires. The more we know, the further we leap towards the ledge, our way of the new age. We justify our wrong as right, so we talk of peace, but really inside exists a bipolar reality of hypocrisy. We are in pieces, constantly preparing for war. We are never at peace. It's more yin, less yang. In our politics, will we ever find inner peace? It's one huge pyramid scheme of all schemes existing over the seas. At the top is the man, he's the overseer, so everything he oversees, scoffing commands, thrives on lies, and those he can control buys off with a dollar bill. You're sold for a dime to settle all your bills, both good and bad. His good is mostly bad, so I guess he's good and being bad. Don't get me started on what he does in bed. It said, once I had he rejoiced in bondage, a man of his age put chains on exotic men of color, gave them pet names and whipped them so hard Kunda had to call him the man, a man calling a man the man. That was the West. Blessed lads, quasi-Christians whose actions screamed cuckoo, not like the clock but like a clansman owned the Holocaust. Hitler had to pay his Jews, gave them Israel. Hitler was the star, not of David, but of the show. He had no emotions to show. His chest was hollow. In this new world order, Pinocchio could have won a Grammy, for he knew very well how to bring his maker sorrow. War back then was simple. To know the enemy, you just had to be the enemy. Now he is endowed with the knowledge of deception. Knowledge is power. How do you deceive your own reflection? A humanitarian by day with sinister intentions. His heart is a dark web of twisted reflections. He's the reason why Syria is at war, and Syria sounds so sexy. He is so good at being bad. He generously sponsors poverty, spreads disease for profit. How they hacked it, Ebola ends so quickly. Now, diplomacy is just but a darker version of war. Bipolar personalities, they smile with sad eyes. They are kings of the north, winter hearts surrounded with ice. They are so cold and constantly at war. But what do we know when all we see are gods? Thank you.
That was Socks the Poet. In representing Team Harare, the unspoken.
I'm a black boy that knows not of harvest, but has become the harvest. They heard I was son of the soul, so they take my body, break it, share it the same way they did to my motherland. I'm a black boy that knows not of harvest, but has become the harvest. So people with no skin tell my people about the Son of Man only to become the devils in our stories. I'm a black boy that knows not of harvest but has become the harvest. Been tilling the land of knowledge for over 14 years only to become the person that seeks more knowledge. I'm a black boy that knows not of harvest but has become the harvest. They tell us work hard today so we won't have to work hard tomorrow. Then I guess my life has been the longest day. I know I'm a black boy that knows not of harvest, but has become the harvest. I live in a world where the uneducated tell the educated how to do their jobs. The qualified are jobless and the unqualified run countries. I think my people need to redefine education. I'm a black boy that knows not of harvest but has become the harvest. See, there are too many leaders that have sacrificed my future in order for them to enjoy their present. They eat. Who cares if anyone hasn't? I'm a black boy that knows not of harvest but has become the harvest. I'm a black boy that knows not of harvest but has become the harvest. But this will change. I am too blessing to not eat the best of the land, too royal priesthood to not change my cloak. I am too heavenly irrigated to not use the potential he gave me to change the world. I'm a black boy that knows of harvest. It's only that mine is spiritual.
And from Team Bulawayo, Dela the poet.
Hi, my name is Dila Dube, the infinite, most resilient soul sister, also known as Miss Calypso. See, I used to write poems, now I just mix and spit potions that could either elate or vex you, depending on my mood, depending on the color of the walls in this room, depending on the face of the moon, depending on... Okay, I'll stop, yeah. All right, so the potion I'm going to serve you today is entitled 8 o'clock news. Anthologized figures recited in nameless eulogy anchor the newscaster's indifference. As the weeks age to months, his compassion molds. The story gets old and stale in uncertainty. Yet, the acridity of the dead wriggles through the cracks in our television screens like an infant ripping through its birth. It takes form as a grievous soul forgotten in the din of numerical scores. It reeks of confusion as it stares at the clock that never stopped ticking. Neither did it slow for the dirge nor the ode to the odd numbers fallen victim to the odious foe. Now if this foe is anything like religion, it would hate me the most. A believer half willing, with one foot sinking in public opinion, drowning in the tales of common folk, as the other kicks pebbles down the loopholes, spiraling conspiracies and inconsistencies, just to see what rests believe and rests beyond public belief.
Thank you, Dela. So to close off this second round, which is the final round of this poetry slam, we shall call upon Shaudo, who represents Team Harare.
They pierced the piece of the anatomy of the only one, the virgin born, the holy son of Immaculate Marie. Jesus Christ, Prince of Peace. And forgive me, I don't mean to sound like a traitor or someone like Caesar, but if I can't seize the plus 30 pieces of silver, life is war. No wonder I've been battling. I've been struggling to say amen, feeling like every time I pray, I'm talking to myself in the hopes that God is listening. These days, I'd rather speak volumes before I utter a single word. Talk is cheap, but I can't afford to sell lies. You could put money where your mouth is. Word is bond, but that carries different value here. See, where I'm from, we share last names with the devils. They'll pick the pockets of the people right before they echo the void of their heart in their voice. But anchataore mnangwaba. I somewhat understand the profit. Money is power, or maybe power means money. So even if I wear a halo for a crown, I'll probably only get reverence when I start to hit the numbers. My custom and passion past the passive. I'm well accustomed to casual casket casting. Of body souls to body those, so adios to plastic costumes cast upon some souls. I'm the one, I minus one, the one that sired me. For two-timing, two-faced, I wrote in double time. I'm too forgiving. 3 words aren't I love you. When I've lost Amane Shamwari who've never died before 4-5. 3 words are dead to me. And 6 so deep cast plastic costumes in a casket. Never been afraid of worms that call themselves serpents. I go fishing just to hook a hiss. Better watch the way you're talking to me. Better hope to you the ground is 7, heaven and hell. I ate the 8, alliteration, the 8 I ate. My 9 lives are eternal like the number 8. I'm a 10, power 10 out of 10. Try to keep the score and write your DOD. My DOB is like the revelation of in the beginning. When it comes to numbers, I'm mathematical with the words. Alchemist, change your list if I missed. 1, 2, 10. P.S. Miss me with your auctions. My soul is not for bargaining, for peace like freedom and dollars. You had us approaching life like auditions, but only given applause for the grand performance written in eulogy. 6 deep, deep. I like my flowers. I like to smell my flowers. Give them to me whilst I can still breathe.